fruitful experience to each and every participant. Thank you one and all. I now invite Dr. Sridhar Akari, Organizing Secretary of today's webinar, to introduce Professor Tirupati Rao Padi to participants. Thank you.
Good morning, respected faculty members, research scholars, and my dear friends. It is an honor to privilege to introduce to you all a very ambitious person whose struggle and success story is indeed an inspiration. Dr. Padi Tirupati Rao Garu hails from an ordinary place in Srikakulam and holds the professorship at Pondicherry Central University, a premier university in India. He pursued his doctoral studies from Andhra University, Visakhapatnam. He also pursued MBA in Operations and Supply Chain Management from Pondicherry University. He is also a SAS certified programmer, base SAS programming for SAS. Sir has received many more awards. Rajendra Prasad Memorial Award from Andhra University in 1988. He received the prestigious World Championship 2019 in operational research in the field of stochastic programming, awarded by International Agency for Standards and Ratings USA. And he received Best Research Paper Award in ICBDM Conference 2006. And he received a Best Applied Research Paper Award IASA-ISPS Conference and Fellow at Directorate of Statistics IASR 2019. He served under various administrative capacities like member, coordinator, nodal officer, NAC expert member for planning and monitoring of IT policy matters, expert committee on state accounts of Puducherry, ISCA, and many more. SAR has major projects from DST and UGC. SAR has supervised 3 MPhil and 6 PhD degrees. He published more than 70 research articles in various reputed journals and published 12 books. He has been an author, co-author, and editor for books in the field of stochastic models, statistics, probability, and distribution theory. SAR is a member in many institutions like International Statistical Institute, ISI, and International Association for Statistical Computing, IASC, IASA, RMS, KSA, SSCA, INSCA, APSMS, many more. I am sure that knowing about our resource person is an honor to each one present here. I welcome Dr. Padi Tirupati Rao Garu for this national webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sridhar, for your affectionate words. I am so delighted to be a part of today's program in connection with World Population Day. I'm very, very glad to congratulate the management of Geetham University for making this event internationally important event, that is World Population Day. My special congratulations to the Department of Mathematics, Geetham University, for making this event or this day as a significant day. Now, my special thanks and gratitude to the management of Geetham University. If I remember well, in 2005, I have given one talk in your university. Later, this is the second talk. Now, I am glad that technology makes the world a small village, even a small home. So therefore, it is very happy that I am associating with one of the most vibrant universities in India as well in the world map. So really, I feel it's honor to me, and I am so privileged to be here to share some of my views on the topic called mathematical modeling exploring the knowledge products. I came to know that the audience are of different disciplines and a spectrum of different categories. I think there are some undergraduate students, there are some postgraduate students, research scholars, faculty members, and experts in their own fields. We can call them as professionals. So because of the gathering is heterogeneous, and the time for me is also 60 minutes for to speak, and already 10 minutes over, still 50 minutes more, out of which you hope 5 to 10 minutes for interaction. So I have to make my presentation very brief, and my concern is to consider the major group of audience. So if you want to make any research pursuing, research level of papers, etc., there is a platform called conferences, seminars, where a focus is exclusively meant for a specific topic. There people can have more benefit on research thoughts. Today, I would like to make my presentation a blend of a popular talk come thought-provoking. Hope I will be successful with all your blessings. Now I would like to share my screen. Okay, while sharing the screen, okay, it's my presentation. Hope it is visible. Somebody to respond, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Continue, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now my topic of the day is that mathematical modeling, exploring the knowledge products. It's a webinar talk. Now my outline of the talk consisting of the following points. What is thought processing? What is knowledge discovery? How we can visualize the knowledge? What is the role of model and modeling? So the focused area is that mathematical modeling for today, and model development with statistical, mathematical, and common sense approaches. I will give one model for each notion. And finally, I will end up with a model speaking about assessment of students' performance score. Now, see, we may heard about the meaning, term about knowledge. What this means. Knowledge is an empowered information for which, without which, not for which, without which one cannot do anything. So it is something like a soft and intangible phenomenon within an individual. In turn, it acts as a driver to make so many activities. So an information, empowered information, which makes you to many activities, whatever right from your initial activities to institutional activities, you need an intangible concept called knowledge. So it will act as driver. Now you may heard about a science. Science is a knowledge which will be in the format of software, invisible. Of course, a knowledge supported by well-laid principles, we call it as soft science. So without the scientific knowledge, we can't do anything. So it is always invisible. You can't see with the naked eyes. Don't expect to see the format of the science in visible formats. Now, tangible technology. Technology is always visible, but this technology can't work without the support of science. So science is something hidden driver or a software which can make technology to make use of it. We heard in mythology, in Hindu mythology, that there are saints, they can visualize the happenings on the other part of the globe, even another asteroids in a universe, in another planet in the universe, how they are visualizing. That was the hypothesis once. But now science and technology put together made this sort of. Now, this is best example. We are all meeting. As my knowledge goes, organizing secretary has provided the information that there are more than 1,300 applicants, out of which around 1,000 people are going to be participated now. So all these people are virtually able to see one another. They are spreading throughout the globe. So science and technology, we have to thank the concepts of knowledge. Science and technology makes this once imaginary, once hypothetical, as now visualized. We are visualizing. You need not be a saint to visualize what is happening on the other part of the globe. If you are connecting within a network, stating that there is a phenomena happening, webinar is happening, people are involving, who are the people, where they are, what is their posture, what is their shape, what all this can be seen with the help of this tangible technology. Please, friends, I would like to remind that this tangible technology has no use if there is no support of softy science. Now coming to another concept called enabled engineering. Engineering, what is it? Engineering is a skilled way of doing things. Something different you are doing, okay, then this is a professional way of handling the technology. We call it as engineering. So engineering makes you enabled with power. So therefore, enabled engineering is another knowledge driver. And finally, I want to mention is invisible innovations. Innovation is something like a creativity. And every time human brain is striving hard to do that thing, though it is repeated, they want to do in a different way from the others. Depends on the requirements, depends on the context, depends on the feasibilities. They are making these innovations, though are invisible. So I can safely claim that science, technology, engineering, and innovations are the knowledge drivers where we can visualize the products, the knowledge products. My topic is how mathematical modeling contributes to produce a knowledge product. I'll come to that point. Exploring the essence. Exploring the essence, for example, I would like to focus the light on this example. Why can't we light a lamp in milk? Milk is a raw material which cannot support the act of lighting the lamp. But you can make this product if you explore the essence within that. That essence is not visible to you. There is a mechanism, there is a methodology, there is a procedure, a protocol. We can explore ghee from the milk. If you explore that essence will help you to make this activity lighting a lamp. So you know the procedure. Most of our audience or participants are aware how to make the milk as ghee, how to explore the ghee essence from the raw material milk. It is not abracadabra type. There is a protocol, there is a procedure we have to follow. So in knowledge, particularly when you are using the dimension of math, math is such a science which can make your thought become a processing, and your knowledge will grow in such a way that it will be end up with some product. Coming to exploring the essence of the milk ghee, it is a procedure. I need not want to emphasize on it. So if you want to make use of any product as user end product, raw material as user end product, you have to do some methodology. That is applicable to math knowledge also. Math knowledge as in the format of a raw material, you cannot make anything. You have to make math as a usable product and a usable component and usable all these knowledge drivers. So among which the most essential and initial part is constructing a model. I'll come to that point in coming. Now, knowledge as a product. Just now I have mentioned a thought can change your total scenario. There is an ad by Tata. An idea can change your life. So a thought has to be visualized. An invisible thought has to be transformed as a visible knowledge product. That is the work, that is the job, that is the task or objective, whatever you call, of the intellectual forms. Now we are generating more intellectual properties. That properties need not be visible, but that invisible products makes more impact on visible systems. So thought for processing, like it is something like product processing, word processing, etc. So mining for essence is the task for which there is a methodology, there is a structure of operations, there is a protocol. Protocol means handling the activities one after other. So mining for essence is the most thing. Now I would like to share a video with you where a math formula, the technologies, the animation people made as a visible product which makes more comfortable in understanding the logic. I would like to go for only one example. I don't want to make more. How area of a rectangle is equal to area of a circle. You are all aware, it's a very basic tool. It is a very basic tool. But if you, as a math teacher, you have to communicate the student in such a way that they have to get the total content without any ambiguity. That is the objective. For that, we have to make use of this phenomenon. See that
Tirupati garu,
Yes.
problem visible.
Yeah. Is it not visible?
Visible అవ్వట్లేదు సార్ కొంచెం మీరు దాన్ని షేర్ చేయండి సార్.
It was not visible.
నాట్ విజిబుల్ సార్.
Oh, sorry. I had to make it another format of sharing again. Is it so? Stop share and we have to go for another sharing. Am I right?
ఎస్ సార్.
Yes. Is it
now visible sir. No problem.
Yes,
Now
sir.
visible. Yes,
now
sir.
visible? Okay,
Yes.
right.
Thank you sir.
Right, sir. Now, please. Is it visible?
Yes sir.
Is it audible? The voice?
No sir.
Voice is not audible?
No voice.
Not audible, sir.
Not audible sir.
Your voice is audible,
Okay.
Tirupati Rao.
Your voice is audible sir, but the matter information audible is not.
Voice is not coming?
Yeah,
Not
your
coming.
voice is coming, not from PPT.
గారు మీ వాయిస్ వస్తుంది.
Hmm.
మీ వాయిస్ వస్తుంది.
Now?
ఓకే సార్ అది మ్యూట్ లో ఉంది సార్ కొంచెం మార్చండి.
Well, we can keep
ఓకే.
pi r squared gives you the area of the
Yes, sir.
circle.
Now it is coming, sir.
Where does pi r squared come from? First, we'll draw a circle and fill in its area. Next, we will divide it into larger
Is it
components
audible?
and arrange them in a rectangle.
Yes sir.
As you can see, it barely resembles a rectangle. So next, we will divide the circle into small equal pieces, and we will arrange them in the same manner. You can see that it appears more like a rectangle. So, if we divide the circle into even more smaller pieces, you can see that every time the shape becomes more like a rectangle. So, how small must we divide a circle before we can get a perfect rectangle? The circle into smaller, or the smallest pieces you can make. But the answer is to divide the circle infinitely many times until we cannot distinguish the lines, and eventually the circle can now become equal to the rectangle. So, the area of the circle is equal to the area of the rectangle, which is equal to base times height. The height of the rectangle, as you can see, is the same as the radius. So height is equal to radius. To find the base, we need to look at the circumference of the circle. And when we compare the base and the circumference, we can see that the base is equal to 1/2 the circumference. Remember that the circumference is equal to 2 pi r. When we combine it with 1/2, the 2's cancel out. And base is equal to pi r. So now base times height becomes pi r times r. Combine the r's together and we have pi r squared, which is equal to the area of the rectangle, which is equal to the area of the circle.
So I have to come out now. Hello, sir.
Oh yes sir.
Okay. Now I can make again screen sharing. Okay,
Okay.
right. So now I came to my original slide, it seems. Is it visible, sir?
Visible, sir.
Right. Now, what I wish to say, this video purpose is, there is a knowledge behind it. The speaker wants to explain the notion of how area of rectangle equal to area of the circle. So he has developed a phenomenon, a formula for area of circle, a formula for rectangle, and they are making coinciding. And finally, he took the help of technocrats and make it as a visible product. So here the knowledge is, there is area of circle, there is area of a rectangle, and how they are equal. This is the thing, the knowledge which is invisible. And the speaker wished to make it as a visible with the working of many people. So at everywhere you need the notion of modeling. I'll come to in detail later. Okay, coming to this at a glance, I would like to show this conceiving a thought. What does it mean? The meaning of thought conceiving is that, see, in a age of 20 to 25 years, the brain is so sharp, and there is a study, I don't know how far it is true, there are on average 600 new thoughts will be floated per day in the age group of this 20 to 24. But most of the times we are unable to catch them. So if you are catch them, if one idea, if you catch it and make it more repetition, so that it will be have a some format. So after more than 100 to 200 times, the repetition of the same thought will make you to spell out, oh, this is my thought. So this is a processing at every stage you have to convert. For example, like an embryo, the right from the mating, the male gamete and female gamete, when they are joining together, and it took around 9 months to be visualized as a baby. Same thing is applicable to our knowledge also. At a spur of point, at a spontaneous time, at a random point of time, a happening of a flash-like thought will come. That thought has to be repeated number of times to visualize it, to conceive it first. Once it is conceived, you have to make it as a grow. So knowledge has to be grown. Then only you will be visualized as a product. So what I wish to say, I want to share today some examples. If time permits, I will cover 3, otherwise 1 or 2 I will cover. So my encounter with math or my experiences with math, 1 or 2 I will share. Something like encounter with village. I have an encounter with a village folk for some problems. Similarly, some bedtime tales and some curiosity aspects at mass drills. Anyway, I'm going to talk by this one. See, I want to emphasize that a light ray, if you want to convert as a rainbow or spectrum of colors, you have to make a setup that it has to be split into colors. That way, the researcher has to be different from others. All the rays cannot be converted as colors. You make a light ray, if you want to see the colors, you have to make it in a separate setup, system. This is what I want to say. And of course, when you see that the paradigms of theory and practice, theory is so classical and so clear, whereas practice is not that much. So a researcher has to make use of his knowledge, applying to the context. So those who can minimize the gap in between theory and practice, they will be considered as effective researchers. So what are the models we are going to construct that have to be spoken, the spirit of the math? I'll come to the point. So math versus common sense. So for example, there are 10 live birds in a mango tree. One bird is shattered with a barrel gun. and it was fell down on the ground. If the question is how many birds remain there on the tree, then your answer might be 0 if you use common sense. If you are a true math and rigid math, orthodox math person, then you may consider that answer as 9. Of course, if you observe this context is trying to give a hidden intelligence information. What is that? There are 10 live birds, means they are able to fly. They are on a mango tree. One bird is shot dead with a barrel gun. Barrel gun not only produce the bullet but also produce the sound. This is the information the context is giving. So keeping that information, you have to apply your math formula. Math formula 10 minus 1, 9 cannot be considered as it is to this context. However, you can consider that same formula to this example. There are 10 nuts on a mango tree. One is fallen down with the same barrel gun. And your question is, if how many there on the tree, then your answer might be 10 minus 1 is more appropriate. So friends, what I wish to say that while using your math knowledge to the context you are handling, you must be careful that whether your formula, your tool is appropriate to the context. So that is what I'm saying. Theory is so clear and practice is not that much of clear. So you have to make use all your discretions, your common sense for making a suitable application of a math tool to the context what you are handling. Now, of course, I will skip this example. Next one. Okay, so I would like to share some examples where I would like to say what is mathematical modeling. It is not a new thing. We are every day handling this side of things. Math modeling is nothing but speaking a general context in math terminology. A textual information will be spoken in math terminology, then you can call it as a math model, right? I would like to share one of my examples. It was happened when I was student of BSc first year. So this is example is, there is a small story incidents behind this. In fact, my studies there at Mrs. Avian College, Visakhapatnam. It is one of the oldest colleges in Andhra University affiliation. In fact, Andhra University is the child of Mrs. Avian College. So I have a privilege that my studies were there. And when my first year BSc, I came from Palasa. There is a 200 kilometers away from the Visakhapatnam. I'm waiting for bus. So during that waiting period, a village folk is also along with me, and he is there. He is typical at the age of 55 or 60 years. Now at that time I was, I think around below 17 years age. Then he asked me in a chatting, my dear boy, what you are doing? I am studying. Where? In Visakhapatnam. Why you are studying there? It is so far up. We are having the near place where Tekali is the near place for us for BSc combination. Then I said, I don't have this combination. I am studying mathematics, physics and statistics group that is available in Avian College, Visakhapatnam. It is far away from 200 kilometers. So therefore I am studying there. Then that visitor, that village man, a farmer, and asked me, oh, you are seems to be you are pursuing a course in a far off place, means definitely it will be a quite qualitative course. So I have a small question. It seems you are so intelligent. I have a small question. Shall I pose that question? Then I smelled that village farmers don't underestimate them. They are very, very intelligent. They are very, very intelligent as per their experience and all these things. And there I have a little bit scare, and I have seen my surroundings, and I confirm that there are no other people except me and that farmer. So therefore, I dare to say that, okay, pose your question. I try my level best to answer the question. and then he narrated a story. The story says like this. See, you may heard about this crop. This crop is usually called finger millets in English, but in Telugu, in local area, in our language, that is, we call it as cholu. Cholu, or in Andhra Pradesh, total Andhra Pradesh, it will be called as ragulu. And of course, it is a ragi is the India-wise familiar name, this crop. So what he said, a farmer, I will narrate the story. A farmer has showered the finger millets seeds of one garissa. Garissa is the unit of a quantum, maximum quantum, in his agriculture fields in the forenoon of a day. Okay. Next, he came back to home for having lunch. Then he visited the field soon after his completion of lunch. Then what happened? A large crowd of sparrows. You know that sparrows are the birds. I will show that picture. So a large crowd of sparrows came to his fields and they have eaten all the seeds. To his surprise, a large crowd of sparrows have eaten all the seeds in the field. Then what happened? Farmer got annoyed and he threw his hand stick on the crowd. Crowd means that herd of the birds. And what happened? This is the herd where it was struck to one of the bird and that bird got dead. So one of the sparrows got wounded and died. And what happened? Then what he made, he cut the belly of that particular bird. Okay, what happened? He had cut the belly of the bird and he found that there are 1 gidde of seeds in the stomach of the bird. Okay, this was the story. And assuming no single seed left over in the field, and further, every bird has eaten equal quantity of seeds. These are the assumptions. Okay. Now his question is, what is the number of birds in the herd? What is the number of the birds in the herd? Hope people got the problem. This was posed by a village folk, a farmer, when I was the student of a first year BSc. And I'm so fortunate and lucky at that time, I had the connection between this garissa and gidde. Gidde is the small quantum and garissa is the large quantum. There is a linkage between this. There is a structure between this. There is a model between this. I will speak that. So what is that? If you are in Uttarandhra, North Coastal, you have all this terminology familiar to you. Others, you please bear this terminology. Though it is in Telugu, you try to make it as a patient's listening. So what is that? 1 garissa equal to 30 putte. Say putte is equal to A. 1 putte equal to 20 kunchams. And 1 kuncham equal to 4 addas. 4 addas equal to 1 adda equal to 4 solas. And 1 sola equal to 4 giddes. This is the connection between gidde and garissa. Okay. So what I made it. So if you detail this, 1 sola has eaten by 4 sparrows. So E number of sparrows have eaten 1 sola. And 1 adda has eaten by E star D. E multiplied D times birds. 4 into 4, 16. And 1 kuncham has eaten by 4, 4, 4. That means EDC multiplication, 64 birds. 1 putte by 1280 birds. 1 garissa eaten by 38,400, 38,400 birds. This was the answer I have given to him. And he was so convinced. He was so convinced how this was answered, my boy. So it's so nice. It seems you are good having aptitude, good aptitude levels. You will have a bright future. He blessed me on that day. So really it is remembered till today. It is happened in 84. It is now 2020. Why it is remembered me? That has given a very good impact at that time. Then the answer, if you observe, there is a simple multiplicative model in here. If you speak that numbers with notation, you will arrive to a formula. That is what mathematical model. Right. Now, if I saw that there is a tail, yeah, there is a tail like this. Okay, this is also something like a branching or some model where we can go for it. Usually when we are in childhood, there are used to have some tales during the bedtime. So these bedtime tales, my friends used to have this type of questions. Assume that there is a fort having 7 boundary walls. Each boundary has a gate with 1 gatekeeper. There is a lime tree in the most interior boundary of the fort. A person wished to have 1 lemon from the interior part of the fort. He made an agreement of bribing with the gatekeeper because there's no possibility of entering into the fort. So he made an agreement with gatekeepers. What is that? The agreement is that he will bring some lemons from the tree, make them into equal parts. Both himself and gatekeeper will share equally. This is the agreement that he made. And he made with the agreement with the 7th gatekeeper, then 6th gatekeeper, and 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. Interior also. He made that promise. And so the question is, after making that, he has collected some lemons on the tree, and while coming back, he has executed his promise at all the gates, and he come out of the final boundary with 1 lemon in hand. With 1 lemon in hand. So here the question is, how many total number of fruits he collected from the tree? This is the question. Usually it involves a binary expansion. So, for example, if the answer, if you want to pursue this answer, see at the after 7th gate, he has 1 in hand, means it is 2 power of 0. Inside the 7th boundary, his hand is 2 power of 1. Next, inside to 6th gate, it is 2 power of 2. Inside to 5th, 2 power of 3, and so on. It is 2 power of 8 is the answer. So if you see this answer, then if you want to convert it as a math related formula, as long you are discussing is a numerical example, it cannot give a math formula. So what we do is, after understanding this problem, convert this as a math formula by simply placing the notations in the place of numbers. Placing the notations in the place of numbers. Then what happened? So, for example, I have made it like this. There are fort having m number of boundary walls, not 7 now. Okay. Each boundary has gate with g number of gatekeepers, and there is a lemon tree. So same story, same execution. And if you want to make the same execution for want of this one, this is the question is answer. He has to make it g plus 1 power m. Formula is g plus 1 power of m. So the total number of fruits he has collected in the tree is g plus 1. Then you can make every changing specific case, it will have a formula. So what my suggestion to the researchers, students, or thinkers, particularly math thought processing people, I am just requesting them understand any simple problem in a math notation, I mean, in your notation with numerical example. Once you are clear with the numerical example, then make it as a presentation of a math formula. Now, I would like to skip all my slides because of paucity of the time. I don't have much time. I would like to discuss the last example, which is encountered with my student when I am teaching in Avian College. It was happened in 1994, if I remember correct. If I remember correct, in 1994 it was happening. It's a challenge posed by my student. It's a matter of the pursuing. I have made so much of struggle, and it has produced around 6 research papers. I'll come to that point. Okay, now I would like to skip all these things because paucity of the time. I have some more examples, but time may not be sufficient for that. I want to share this one more particularly. Okay, there is a story again. Here also I want to share my experience. See, in 1994 or 90s, I don't remember correctly, Andhra University, for getting admission into post-graduation, they have introduced an entrance examination with negative marking. Earlier, there is a examination without negative marking. Okay, after 2 or 3 years, Andhra University has introduced entrance examination for postgraduate admissions, introducing objective multiple choice with negative marking. This was the story. So during that time, one of my students, of course, our Chandrasekhar Rao and Ravi Shankar, everybody knows, I used to engage tuitions for statistics at RTC complex place. Okay, so
Yes, sir, we know.
yeah. He is happened to be my student in social also. Okay, so what happened? She has posed a question. Sir, Andhra University has introduced this type of new setup. What can I do? See, earlier, if there is no negative marking, though the sum of questions which are left, that can be answered in a random manner, nothing wrong. Okay, if benefit is there, okay. If benefit is not there, let it be, something like that. We have assurance, but now it is introduced like this. Okay, what can I do? Whether I have to adopt the previous method or I have to adopt new method. I was in a dilemma because negative marking, how best it will affect, I don't know. So therefore, I took a time. Mama, you give around 1 week. I will pursue this matter with my teachers and then I'll come to you. Then I made my efforts to meet all my teachers in my statistics department and went there and I posed this challenge to my teachers and nobody is showing interest. Probably they may not have that much of intensified interest like me. So it was ignored, but I am also unable to do anything. See, I have to make a decision, which that decision has to be supported with a well scientific background. This is my concern. Therefore, I am unable to give any random or vague answers. Vague answers I don't want to give. That's my delicacy. Then what happened? 1 week was over, right? And she reminded me, sir, what about my question? Then I said, wait, Amma, I will take 2 more days. Then 2 more days also over. Okay. Then you believe me or not, there is a suffocation and converted as unrest and frustration. All these type of things I have faced. There are sleepless nights. Sleepless nights because I have an ego. What is that ego? I am a good teacher. I can answer any question of my student. I have my ego. And my students also have the same opinion. My teacher is so knowledgeable and he can solve any problem. So they are having that impression. Now it is going to be question mark. If I am not able to answer this question, it will be a great remark on me and students may not respect me and that feel makes me sleepless. And what happened? You believe me or not, it was happened. I am just sharing to you. Okay. I have given 2 days chosen holidays. You believe simply to avoid her. And up to then, I made all my efforts to read the books, to refer internet. Many things I did. No effort will yield any result. Finally, I decided it's not the way. I cannot consult my resources. I cannot make any efforts with resources. I have to do on my own. Then I sat with paper and pen. Okay. So I made an exercise. Okay. Now I would like to see why my concern is. It is something like a life and death question for me. It's a life and death question me. Why? Because it hurts my ego. I cannot have the earlier impression of my student. It makes me a lot of pressure. So therefore, I will tell you this. The questions is like this. For example, now model I am saying, let there be 100 objective questions. Each objective question supplied with 4 multiple options. Only one correct option among 4 remaining, 3 are wrong options. There is a positive score of 1 mark for correct response. There is negative marking as 1 mark will be deducted for every 4 wrong answers. 1/4 is the weighting. Students is allowed to choose only one option. Total examination has written with full of chance manner. Assume that no question has answer to them. They are attempting all 100 questions on a random choice manner. Assume that. This is the model assumption. Now, the queries are, what will be the average expected score? What will be the variance, etc. These are all stat related questions. I will come to this point later, right? These are all the different questions we can answer with this. Now I made the adapter. Now solution is, since there are 4 options, one among them is correct response. The chance of selecting the correct option is 1/4. The chance of selecting wrong option is 3/4. So the expected score of the correct response when there is no negative marking is 100 into +1 into 1/4. So therefore 25. Now the expected score for incorrect response, assume that there is no positive marking. Okay, that is 100 into -1/4, because negative mark weighting. Negative mark weighting is -1. Out of 4 questions, 1 will be deducted. So -1/4. -1/4 is the weightage of the score. 3/4 is the chance of chance of choosing the wrong option. So it is 75/4. So either the first thing may happen or second thing may happen. Okay. So therefore, what happened? The total expected score is 100 into +1, this one. So finally, it is 6.25. Oh my God, I'm safe. Why? Because it is more than 0. It is more than 0. Instead of keeping the options idle, you feel something. So therefore, you will get the correct option. I mean, some edge you have, some benefit you have, because it is more than 0. Now I comfortably conveyed my student. Okay, if you try this way, there is a possibility of mathematical expectation theory says that it is 6.25. It is more than 0. Instead of keeping idle, better to give. It is 6.25% of benefit is there. If some favor luck and some luck favors, it will be useful to you. So she went. That was the examination is over. And to my surprise, after the examination, within 1 week, our Andhra University has released the results. On the releasing of day results, she is coming with a running mode. You believe me or not, this was all happened, therefore I am remembering all these things. Okay, she is coming running mode. Her face is so brightful. There's a mercury like light it is. And she came to me, sir, I got results. And just a moment, there is another story extension for this. There is an extension for this. After examination, she came to me and she said, sir, there are no 100 questions. There are 90 questions only. Okay. Out of which I have answered around 40 questions with full chance. I know that answers I know. Therefore, I answer all that questions. Okay. I will repeat that question. Additional problem. Okay, so he has posed the question that there are 90, sir. Okay, so therefore, what I have made it, I have answered 40 with correct answers. Remaining 50, what I know, around 15 questions or so, I know that 3 are irrelevant. Sorry, 1 is irrelevant. I know that 1 is irrelevant, but I don't know what is relevant from the remaining 3. Got my point? So 1 is irrelevant. I came to know that. But out of remaining 3, 1 is relevant, but I don't know. So therefore, I answered around 15 questions with 1/3 chance. Okay. Similarly, around 20 questions or so with 1/2 chance, because 2 are irrelevant. I know that. Remaining 2, I don't know what is correct. Whereas remaining questions I answered with full of chance. So what is going to be my score. This is what her question. So that question, again, now I am defining the mathematical model. Let there be, student has answered 20 questions with certainty, 25 questions with answered chance 1/2, 15 questions answered with chance 1/3, remaining 40 questions were answered with the chance 1/4. Now, what is the expected score? This is the new model. Earlier model is different with new model. It's a combination of many problems now. It's a linear combination. Now, what is that? The expected score of the correct response when it is there is no negative marking, because for 20 questions, it will be 47.5. So 25 with certain +1 and score is +1. Another 25, chance of scoring is 1/2 and score is +1. So if there is no negative marking, for all these patterns, 20 with certainty, 25 with half chance, 15 with 1/3 chance, 40 with 1/4 chance. Okay. Now it is a positive score, assuming that there is no negative marking. Now it is the negative score, assuming that there is no positive score, and mix them. It will be 34.625. Like this, I have given some estimates. It was happened on the examination day. So after the examination, after 7 days, 1 week, university has declared the results. And the results day, he is coming with a running mode, stating that, sir, I got the result, I got good marks, and I am not happy for all these things. I am so happy with one thing, that you have estimated some number. That number is exactly on the scorecard, sir. Andhra University on that year, they have provided, I don't know now what is happening. On that year, they have provided rank along with score also, scorecard also. Okay, that score is exactly matching with the expected score what I have given on the exam day. Really, I got shocked how it was happened. She is also in the shocking. Okay, it was happened, sir. I am not exaggerating. I am not making any additional information. It was happened. It's so experienced on that day. So I am also really wonder how it was happened. So she has made all the praises to me, and all my frustration, what we call it as pressures, were released. Really, I am enjoying that happiness. It is unbounded. You may believe or not, unbounded. I am so happy. I am in the impression that I win a lot of victory. I am in the tower of a victory. That type of feel I had at that time. So she asked me, sir, what it was happened, how it was happened, how you have predicted, how you have estimated. Prediction is the part of the statisticians or people who are using math models. Okay, so how it was happened? Then I said, see, really, I am also in shock, but I don't know what is happened. Anyway, if you are attributing any greatness to me, that greatness is not at all applicable to me. That greatness goes to two people. One is James Bernoulli, because he has provided the binomial concept and mathematical expectation. In fact, I have used that formula. I have not used any other formula. So therefore, 75% credit goes to James Bernoulli. And remaining 25% credit goes to you. Her name is Rupavati. Okay. So remaining 25% credit goes to you. Why? Because you have given such a accurate inputs that how many questions are answered with certainty, how many questions are answered with 1/3 chance, 1/4 chance, 1/2 chance, etc. Because of your accuracy in the data, that was fitted to the model in such a way that it was happened exactly. So what I wish to say to you friends, theory development is one part for math people, and applying the same theory to context is another part. If they are synchronizing, you will get wonderful results, wonderful predictions. So what I wish to say, and they made it this end was happened, and I forgot about the total thing. When I shifted to SV University, there is a continuation where 5 more minutes. Is it possible, sir? Is it okay? Sir, 5 more minutes. Organizers, 5 more minutes I will take.
Okay,
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Right. Sir, so when I shifted to SV University in 2007, in 2008, there is a invitation from University of Kashmir, Srinagar, for delivering an invited talk. This is first of its kind to in my career. An university professor, as a university assistant professor at that time, okay, an invitation came from international conference. They said we will bear all the expenses, all air travel, all these things they wish to spend. So it's really happy news for me. But at the same time, I want to establish myself as a standard speaker by providing something to the forum, international forum, because it's an intellectual forum. I cannot speak all any vague things there. Then what I thought, why not we speak this matter? Why not we speak this matter, this example, with a different content, with a different formatting of this? Then that requirement, that need or necessity. Hello, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir, audible.
Yeah. So that
Yes, sir.
requirement, that need makes me to think in the other way. I just make all these numbers as notations. Okay. Now that problem is spoken with notations, not numbers. What I did is I made the total numbers in notations and I did the problem again. Now I arrived to the formula. I'll come to that. Let there be n total number of questions. Okay. In the examination, let there be r different set of questions. Each set consisting of finite number of questions of that category. Each question in the specified set are having k options. Student has to select one among the k available options. Now assumptions further. Only one among the k options is correct option. Selection of the option is on either certainty or chance basis. There is a positive score for successful handling and negative score for incorrect response. Positive and negative score variables are exclusive in nature. And R number of options that are available to the student for each, where R lies between 0, greater than or equal to 0, R is finite. Let capital R be the positive score for selecting the correct option. Let capital P be the R means what is called it as R stands for response score. P stands for penalty, that is a negative score for wrong option. Let Nk be the number of questions that are answered with chance of selecting the correct option is 1 by k, where k equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, so on are. Now further continuation. Successive events of one type are independent. N0, let N0 be the number of questions that are not attempted. Some questions may not be attempted also. Let capital be the number of total questions that are attempted by a student. Let capital N1, N2, so on, Nk are the different category of questions such that capital equal to sum over Nk. Notations continues. N1, N2, so on, N or Nk are the questions that are handled by the selecting the correct options with chances 1 by 2, 1 by 3, so on, 1 by k respectively. Let Zk be the combination of positive scores. It's a linear combination. It's a reward score with the x variable. X variable deals positive score. I'll come to that point. P stands for penalty score. It is variable relating with yk. So Zk is the combination, linear combination of, see, if x and y are random variables, linear combination is also random variables. What all the theory applicable to x and y, that can be applicable to z also. Okay. So xk is the positive score on kth question, yk is the negative score on the kth question. Capital T is the total score of n questions. So continues. Let x be the number of random variables obtained as a result of correct option, and this 1 by k and so on. The number of questions that are answered by the student with chance is 1 by k. Xk equal to 1 if the randomly chosen question is correct. xk equal to 1, 0 if the randomly chosen question is wrong. Randomly chosen option, not question. Option is wrong. So it is a binary. Now I have divided for positive score. So there is a probability distribution. Probability that xk equal to 1 equal to 1 by k. Xk equal to 0 equal to 1 minus 1 by k. This is the Bernoulli distribution related to positive score. Now come to the total probability distribution this way. Now come to the negative score. Negative score is also another random variable. So same story, yk equal to 1 if the chosen option is wrong. We have the probability distribution. Yk equal to 0 is 1 by k. Yk equal to 1 is 1 by k. Am I audible, sir? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Because it is showing some internet issues. Okay.
No problem.
Now it is the probability distribution for negative score, sir. So we have probability distribution for positive, positive distribution for negative. So therefore, positive score consideration, considering the above, this is the positive distribution, and the order raw movements I have find out. Expectation of x power of m is 1 by k. Movements I have obtained. Negative square also I have obtained the movements. Finally, I have added them as a linear combination. And finally, we have the scores. So let capital be the total score of the students, and capital T will be the formula. This one. Sum over k equal to 1 to r n suffix k. This linear combination. This is the formula for T. See how it is arrived? It is arrived because I have used the notations in the place of numbers. So after making the notations, I just made the formula, derivations, that it is derived. Average score formula is this one. Okay, variance is this one. Third central moment is this one. Okay, and the fourth central moment is this one. See, by this time, you have a bunch of math formulae. This math formulae, computer science people will make use of developing the software. Once software is prepared, that can be implemented as a decision support system by interface, visual, digital interface. So, if you assume what is the role of math person? Math person is starting the genesis of the work, understanding the natural context into a math context, and doing his problem with notations, and explore the formulae within that. So it's a knowledge product. This knowledge product will be further useful by IT people, or you call it as computer science people, for developing the software. Further, that software is using for decision making people. And finally, it was reached to user and product. Now, I would like to emphasize that as a math brain, you are giving a knowledge product. It's visible finally. From the starting point of your invisible phenomena, you are developing a mathematical model, means you are speaking the context in math terminology. For that, you have to understand the context thoroughly. Try to understand the context with numbers. Once you are thorough, then remove all that. Remove all that. Then only you will have the way of exploring the math formula. Of course, there is some another things are there. Anyway, I have not presented this as it is with the same example. When I went to this Kashmir conference, and it is happened to be me at the time, one Professor J.L. Narayana, Professor K. Srinivasarao, Professor Vivekanand Murthy, also representing Andhra University. And it was so happened to me that J.L. Narayana and Professor J.L. Narayana and me were asked to share one room in accommodation. At that time, I shared the idea with him. Sir, is it okay to present this idea in conference as an invited staff? Then he listened all these things and he suggested a wonderful remedy. Tirupati Rao, you did a wonderful work. conversion of a practical problem as a math generated formula, it's a good work. It is a original work, no doubt about it. But you don't give this example. You don't give this example. Your student example should not be revealed. If you reveal this example, your work will be undermined. So you just change the context, whatever you like. Then I made again my application. Yesterday, Sridhar asked me my presentation. And I said the presentation, okay, I will send one tentative presentation, but my presentation is making refinement up to my presentation. Okay, my PPT will improve up to my presentation. Like that, at that time, invited talk also, I have changed the total context. I have never revealed this example. What the example I made now? I have taken the IT people and software developers, team managers, team leaders examples. Okay, assume that a team leader has given n number of projects. He has alternatives. Out of alternatives, one alternative may be suitable. Alternative might be he believes one team members. If it is assigned to one person, it will be successful. If it is assigned to wrong person, it will be failure. Okay, if project is successful, company will get reward. If project is not successful, company will be landed penalty. So the concerned people working in that, they have to be assessed with the performance. So my model is converted completely as the problem called manager's performance evaluation. I named it as a manager's performance evaluation. And I have presented, and I'm so happy that it was well received at that time. So though it's my first presentation in international forum, and really it was, I'm thankful to Professor J.L. Narayana for making me a very, what we call it as, he's elected me the way his suggestion impacted me. Later, it was all happened in 2008. Later, I have published that paper in 2010 in Scientific Research Publishing. Scientific Research Publishing, that's my publication. And this work with the manager performance evaluation, if anybody wish to view that paper, I have around more than 74 papers in my credit that are all available in my research kit. That papers are all available to you. You can get it from them. Okay, so this is what I would like to say, my friends. If you want to be a good teacher, there is one approach. If you want to be a good researcher, there is another approach. I tell that and I will conclude it. If you want to be a teacher, start with a complicated formula or concept. Make thorough. Read number of times. And while giving it to the student, it's so simple as possible. So you make thorough practice, what all the industry you do, that's up to you. But while giving the student, it has to be crystal clear. If you are doing that, you will be a good teacher. Now coming to the researcher, it is reverse approach. What is the reverse approach? Start with, see, you understand any problem thoroughly with numbers, with practical context, and convert into a math notation and speak in a math terminology and derive the math formula. But while presenting as a researcher, remember, while presenting as a researcher, you should not reveal the basics roots. You have to emphasize only results. Present only results. Don't present all the stories. What is the backing? What is that? But you must have the clarity. You must have the clarity. Then your research will be qualitative. Your research will be qualitative. So, if you want to be teacher, start with complicated, make it simple. If you want to be a good researcher, start with simple, make it complicated, and throw it as a research problem to the research community. This approach will definitely effective, and that is the want of these days. So, my friends, thank you very much for your patience listening. And I'm once again thanking to the administration of Geetham University for making it a wonderful opportunity to interact all the intellectuals, either students or professors or professionals. My terminology, what I am having today, the knowledge is mostly contributed by my students. I am grateful to my students. I am grateful to my students. Thank you a lot to all the people for giving me this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, thank you very much, sir,
Yes, sir.
for your nice presentation.
Yes.
Sir, maximum many people are asking, nowadays
Okay.
people are doing in different types of, they are taking different types of real life problems, sir. And they
Okay.
are constructing the different types of mathematical modeling, sir.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
which statistical software is suitable for them?
Sir, softwares are all customized, sir. For your information, I am saying.
Sir,
Softwares already developed are the customized.
yes, sir.
Okay. So if you go for any licensed softwares, they are customized. They won't address your problem. So
Not only for our mathematicians,
yeah. Not only mathematics. I'm giving general
for
science.
allied sciences people also.
Nowadays,
they are using-
Nowadays, if you want to go for your independent work, then go for open source softwares like R and Python. R and Python are the order of the day. So you have to learn with them. Of course, there is a comfort in the licensed softwares. There is a user friendliness in the licensed software. But if you make some efforts in R and Python, this will be suitable for your problems. Thank you, sir. Next, any other question?
Sir,
Okay,
thank
sir.
you very much, sir. It
Thank
was
you,
nice
sir. Thank you.
presentation, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful response from all the participants.
Okay.
Sir, with your permission, I will share your presentation to all the participants, sir.
Definitely, I will give this presentation. Why? Because you are asking me that for office purpose you have sent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was modified now.
Yes,
That is
sir.
modified. There may be some irrelevant information in the previous slide. So now I will send right now. After this one, you will receive that. Okay?
Okay.
You
sir.
share this one.
Thank
You
you,
share
sir.
this
Thank
one.
you. Thank
Right,
you, sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Just
Right,
a moment,
sir.
sir. Dear participants, let us go for conclusion of the first session. In modern day technology, it is essential and necessary to convert all the real life situations in terms of mathematics, which leads to the modeling aspects to solve in a most friendly atmosphere, or else to solve even the most complicated real life problems through effortside using mathematical modeling concepts and developing user friendly software packages which support of the latest advanced technological techniques. What said Professor Rao sir just now, the concepts of modeling aspects which are lucidly presented by Professor Rao is most appropriate is presenting the modeling technological world, and its immense insight will greatly benefits to the practitioners of the mathematical model experts. Our distinguished chairman, including Geetham's management, we are